Today, not someday. I'm sure that's like a quote I'm bastardizing horribly, but figured I would start recording these silly videos because when I first started Confounded Machine, I wanted to build just that, confounded machines. Basically half art, half mechanical complexity little puzzles. That's why I named the company Confounded Machine. I wanted to build these confounding devices. And the best way to do that for me anyways was to pick something that was easy to do, which was it just rolled into being pens because I like pens. I've always had interest in them, so I started making them. And that snowballed significantly to the point where I was able to quit my job and do this full time. So now this is what I do in my shop. I build pens. But I want to get back to the whole root of starting this whole crazy thing that I've started, is to build these little silly mechanical sculptures. They please my brain, and it's something I want to do. And pens have been a awesome gateway, and I do not intend on stopping pens anytime soon because A, they fund all this, and B, they teach me a ton about just precise little intricate devices, and I can work on all kinds of mechanisms, and I can flush out ideas, and I can make hundreds of them. And that's the best part of all this, is making boatloads of just a specific device lets you really figure out where your problems are, because if everybody has to use it, or if you have to ship it out to people like I do all my pens, you very quickly get feedback on what works and what doesn't, and how to make things better. So I'm very happy with the pens nowadays. The pens are coming along super well. I'm working on a new mechanism that I'd love to finally release, but unfortunately the current orders I'm having is just really hamstringing my ability to produce more. So right now what we're doing is focusing on getting the production up for what I currently produce, so I can have more time to focus on other designs and focus on making these kind of contraptions, these mechanical complexities that I eventually want to get into. But if I don't say it, I'm never going to get started on it. So that's what we're doing here. If you're watching this video, I've already backlogged a bunch of them. I don't know if it's something I want to do, but I have so many things day to day that I do that I want to share, and I don't, just because time never allows for it. I'm always working on other stuff, and I don't ever have time to edit a nice YouTube video together. So we're just gonna start doing quick little vlog styles, which just be a little bit of talking head at the start, and then I'll just show you what I have for my day. So without all out of the way, let's get on to what I have going on today. Video setup. We're shooting with a wide angle lens, so everything is going to look a little bit distorted, but it's kind of tight in here, as you can see. So the majority of my work happens on this big lathe. I purchased that a long time ago and retrofitted it. I have videos on that. I have a bunch of videos that I've shot on this mill and haven't released them yet, but this is basically just like a hobby mill that I've severely upgraded. It's sitting on like a 500-pound block of concrete. This thing, if I open this carefully without breaking tools, I gotta be careful there. I completely filled it with concrete. It's bolted to the floor. The mill is bolted to it. It's all epoxied together. It's got a big epoxy beam on the back. It's a very rigid little mill for what it is, and it fits my needs perfectly. It's got a 4th axis on it. Anyways, besides the point. What we gotta do today is have all these pens finished. So I have majority of them finished. Basically, I'm just anodizing all the pens. These are gonna ship out. This is for the September pre-sale. We're launching the October pre-sale basically next week, so I'm going to finish these out and send them out. All the new pen boxes, which I'm quite jazzed about as well. But first thing I have to do this morning is I have to replumb in this little, this isn't the compressor I use, this is just a secondary storage tank. This was the old compressor I use. The big ones live on the other end of this big yellow hose down in my basement, and they provide all the air for my shop. And this one just sits here as a extra storage. No use just having the tanks sit idle, so I use it for storage volume. But I had to blow out my sprinklers, and I forgot that's the compressor I used, so I had to unplumb it from the system because I didn't make it easy on myself. So that's the first thing I'm going to get taken care of today. Ultrasonic tank is warming up for cleaning the pens. I'm going to finish all the anodizing, and then we will get to shipping. Whee! Alright, the astute among you may notice I'm spinning the compressor as opposed to just spinning the manifold on, and that's because the manifold was connected to all the machines, and I had no intention of taking this off, and kind of had to do it post-haste as it was cold here and I forgot to blow the sprinklers out, so that's where we lie. Okay, these are the compressors that run the shop, so I'm going to make sure this is my pseudo air jar, which actually works out decently well. Make sure I already shut the valves off on the bottom of the tanks. And contact. Perfect. A bit of an exercise in stupidity, but I wanted to leave the system, or this
compressor connected, all ready to go. Should the big ones ever go down, I can flick this one on, and this one can just run the lathe. The two big ones downstairs, one can run my entire shop, but I have two of them for redundancy and to give me extra air so that I can run both these machines simultaneously. This thing sucks air, uses like 6 CFM just sitting, so it's nice to have the extra capacity. Keeps compressors happy too. Anyways, see if we're building pressure. Zoom. Yeah, looks like pressure's going up, so. Big capacity, I don't know, it was like 80 gallons of air through the system, so it takes a while, but now we're finished this, we can move on to anodizing, the actual task for today. After the pens are cleaned in the ultrasonic, they go through a bunch more processes just to prep them for anodizing. Right in the center of the view there, you can see my anodizing tank. This pen is going blue, so it's a fairly quick process. Blue is a low voltage color, or the blue I use here was low voltage blue, so it happens relatively quickly. And then I'm just checking the color in comparison with the other parts. Different size parts tend to anodize slightly different colors, so I want to match them as close as I possibly can. So it's a little bit of finagling, but I mean, that's how you get a decent result. There's one fun issue with this batch as of recent. So you can see this pen's going to be purple. I stopped at pink just because it lets me find any flaws. And you can see in this one, mine the water spots. It's pink, but all around the bolt slot, it's a little bit lighter, kind of almost like a light orange peach color. And that's because there's some form of contamination, I believe, coming from the inside of the pen, like oil from the pen during buffing, that's getting buffed into it. I mean, these have been heavily cleaned, like ultrasonic, all kinds of degreasers before the stage, but whatever contamination is bugging it is still showing up in the final finish. The easy fix for this right now is I just buff it, clean it, and then it's good to go again. But that is annoying, and I don't know why, and I don't know why my cleaners aren't taking that off. Because it's always an issue around the polished bolt slots on these pens. So, like I said, it's easy to fix. I'm just trying to figure out how to fix it. I'm still waiting for my Alkanox cleaner to come in. Actually, I have to order it directly from them because one of their vendors dropped the ball, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm gonna try using that because that's a really, really good laboratory grade cleaner, and it's kind of suited for this task. So hopefully that solves it because yeah, polishing these and then anodizing them is the best, but I like to do them in a batch because it just makes more sense. So that's the conundrum.
And the clock tells me I'm out of the day. So didn't quite get as far as I wanted to get. I mean, I got what I wanted to get done, but I always think I can get more done than I actually can in a day. Anyways, I wanted to have the assembly finished and the pens boxed up, but I have just basically everything finished, ready for assembly and box up tomorrow. So that's where we're gonna lay. If I'm smart, I'll put some pretty pictures of the finished parts here, so you don't have to just look at me nattering away. One of the partial benefits of me doing these videos is I think a lot about what I'm recording, just because I'm recording it. But I figured out my contamination issue. At least I think I did. I shortchanged one of the cleaning processes in this entire batch, just because I didn't think it was required. All the machines here run oil, mist oil systems or flood oil systems while they're being machined. So that makes the pens quite greasy. And I try to leave them in their greasy state as long as I can before cleaning them. And in this state, I just did a light degrease before some of the finishing steps. And I think that was my main issue. So I'm gonna correct for that next batch, see how that works out. If not, like I said, I'm gonna use that new cleaner as well, see if that helps. It's always finishing. Finishing is always, the devil is always in the details, and the details are always hidden in finishing. So anyways, if you're interested in what I do or what I sell, I have links below. If you want to sign up for the pre-sale notifications, they tend to go rather quickly, so I send out an email reminder 24 hours before I launch any pre-sale. By the time you're watching this, one is already active and very likely sold out. So yeah, if you want to get dibs on the future, yeah, there's a reminder. I don't send spam because I don't have time to send spam. But yeah, appreciate you following along with me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.